We were just waiting for the bracket for quite some time, which is why we did take a little while to get started, obviously, but we are good now, I believe, so let's do this. We're going to start to the bottom left-hand side with our red Terran player coming in. It is a Bunny. And he is, obviously, the Korean Bunny here. A few of the Europeans are trying their luck in today's qualifier, where top 4 players advance to play in IEM Korea. So a few of the European players are trying, Blyers, for example, and Snoot and Welmu. Some of the foreigners as well from America are going to be playing, well, Korea as well. I mean, Scarlet and No Regret playing from Korea. And then Kella's Neeb from America. Maybe a couple other players here and there as well. But this is going to be Bunny vs HyuN, our first matchup of the day. And already Bunny is getting off to a very interesting start, so we better start introducing some players. The bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player is Bunny. Starting up here on Overgrowth. And he is going to be playing HyuN, the Roach King himself, to the top right-hand side. How long has it been since you guys have seen HyuN? I can't think of the last time I saw HyuN in a game. Honestly, it's been so long since he's been playing in anything. Honestly, I'm trying to think, what exactly he played in last that I was casting. Or that I was just watching, and I really can't come up with anything. So if anyone's got any ideas, then please do feel free to share, as we do follow this Reaper across towards the top right-hand side of the map. And Bunny will prepare to begin his pressure, which is Free Reax Reaper. So it's a very interesting map to Free Reax Reaper on. Let's talk a little bit about this, because you can see here's a big ledge to utilize, and there's a ledge over here as well. So there's a couple ledges. The problem is, how much kind of escape potential does he have on the natural expansion? If he gets chased away from the natural, well, he's got one ledge here, but that's about it. It's very difficult to get over here. You can't jump down there. And even when you're down this ledge, it's not too far for the Lings to run around and then wrap around onto this low ground. So, very interesting choice to Free Reax Reaper here on Overgrowth. Let's see how it turns out for him, as obviously, he must feel as though this is a pretty decent map to do it on, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it right now. And see a third Reaper coming in from Bunny as well, so again, we'll continue to build up these Reapers, begins to expand at home. Maybe they're starting to utilize this ledge to get up to the high ground. Now, HyuN so far has yet to build a Roach Roaring, which is generally considered the best way to defend this sort of attack, as grenades will get a lot of those drones. Gets two very low as well, and that means there's just so much potential for him to go back in here. But that is quite a far middle line, it's quite far from the edges, so it's quite risky to go that far in. So he has to be a little bit careful, and he's being careful right now as well, still keeping these Reapers alive on super low health. Queen pops out. Does he target fire down? No, he doesn't. And these Reapers are still alive, as we're going to see, though. Now these Zerglings come in. Oh, they got a wraparound, but one of the Reapers actually got grenaded down to the low ground, which is very fortunate. The other Reaper getting surrounded there. So one Reaper lost so far, down to the low ground. One more Reaper goes down. The grenades trying to do a little bit more, but HyuN is starting to clean this up as Reapers are getting caught by the Lings. And now he'll just begin to go counterattack / intercept reinforcements. Actually, he could maybe even cancel the CC and at least force the Reapers back home. More Lings on the way, as HyuN is actually going to continue with the pressure right now. Picks up one more Reaper, going to look for another right now too. However, a lot more Reapers coming across here, and HyuN is going to have to turn away. Doesn't have enough Zerglings to stay aggressive in that sort of position, as we're going to be seeing these last two Reapers will be enough to defend. The CC will stay alive, and so Bunny is able to keep this going. But he is beginning to transition, so he hasn't committed to this for too long. Got 9 Reapers up right now, and he begins to go into his double reactor and tech lab while also building the factory. So he's going to start going into his main bio play. And let's see how that turns out for him off of this Reaper opening, which is, to be fair, done a fairly decent job. There's 29 workers to the 23, so he definitely has advantages. HyuN heavily supply blocked right now, and only making one Overlord initially means that he's got quite some time until he gets into a proper, out of this supply block properly. 8 drones on the way is nice and all, but he's again supply blocked. So HyuN really slowing himself down here more than anything else, as we're going to be seeing Marine popping out, just pushing this Overlord away, which has just scouted and seen, well, okay, reactors and the tech lab is up, see Stimpak has started. He will know now what is going on in these early stages. Again, a few Lings from HyuN, just going to sit to the left-hand side of the map, and Overlord to the center, and Overlord just off to the right as well. So just going to be looking to see how this continues. Going to see some creep tumors at the front as well. That's something which is nice for HyuN. Bunny hasn't really achieved because he had to go home so early with the Reapers. He got pushed back super early on, and so he hasn't been able to deny the creep spread even. So creep will start to make its way towards the third base over the next few moments. Now I have to say, there's a lot of creep spread, and this sort of Reaper attack was shut down so early on. It again comes back to what I was saying. This map does not feel very good for Free Reax Reaper. And it wasn't. We saw very easily these things push the Reapers down to this low ground. That's fine, but you can jump around so easily. The power of, say, a map like Frozen Temple is when you get away from the natural, you can then jump up into somewhere else, which is quite far away from the natural expansion, so that actually, you're away from the Zerglings quite far away, so they can't just continue chasing, they have to go around a big loop. Same on Galactic Process. It's not very easy for them to stick around. We go back to kind of other maps which Freerox Reaper has been powerful on in this year, and you get to Orbital Shipyard. You've got plenty of ledges, not just on the main base of the natural, but then onto the natural expansion too, and away. And it's so hard for the Lings to keep chasing, because if they go all the way around, the Reapers jump back up and they're annoying. But that doesn't happen on this map, because if the Reapers jump back up, well, the Lings, they're just here. They back up there so quickly, so very weird map. It's more about the follow-up maybe here from Bunny, who is going to attack on in a moment. Now, I've got to say, Bunny did minimize the worker count. Maybe HyuN, his main mistake was making another round of Zerglings. I really think as though that actually could be his main issue here, as he takes down this third base super quickly. Drones are burrowed behind this mineral line. Scan coming in towards the front. He's going to see a lot of Banes morphing in, but I mean, third base already picked off. That's a great pick off here from Bunny. And HyuN's going to be in a little bit of trouble there then. So, I really do feel as though I'm sort of slacking off the kind of Freerox Reaper play. I mean, it did its job, but I really do feel as though what HyuN did wrong was... Well, HyuN did wrong, is that he actually went for this sort of very weird... Hold that thought, because actually Reapers are coming in here to grenade these few units, and slow Banes off of Creep are not going to have a good time. Burrowed Banes are going to try and slow things down, but they're not quite going to be successful. A few more Marines over here. Again, I'll just type out GG. What I was going to say is that actually the kind of thing that went for game number 2 of this best of 3 series. We're going to be playing best of 3s throughout today, and it is top 4 players to qualify for the main event. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place here on WardiTV to see who the next 4 players will also be qualifying. And again on Tuesday for the final 4 players. So as you can see, we're going to be very busy over the next few days with IEM qualifiers, which is great. It's been so long since we've had like IEM qualifiers like this to cast. I mean, like we've had like WCS circuit qualifiers and stuff like this. But when was the last time you saw like a proper big IEM, like a big Korean qualifier? It's been a long, long time since we saw anything like that. So this is going to be really cool. As we have to the bottom left-hand side of Daybreak, opening up with the 2 racks on the low ground. It is going to be Bunny. And is he going to go through Rax Reaper once again? I think he is. There's the third barracks coming on in. Alright. This double racks on the low ground helps him to wall off so that he can actually build a CC just a little bit more safely than he did on, say, Overgrowth. So that's a little bit of a nice benefit. Makes sense to build these racks on the low ground. So much to gain from that. As we have to the top right-hand side of the map, our blue Zerg player, it is HyuN. And he's obviously 1 game down, looking to go for a bit of a better defense against the Reapers this time around. I still feel as though actually the defense against the actual Reapers was okay. It's just he made not enough drones afterwards. He made some more units, which then he didn't utilize. And then he couldn't utilize, then he wasn't ready with Balins to deal with that incoming attack on the third base. I mean, that was one thing that HyuN also saw as well. He scouted that Bunny was very early in the game going into 2 reactors in the tech lab. He knew very early on that he was going to be going into a lot of bio and that he should be prepared for that bio attack. He scouted Stim, so he had a rough idea of when Stim was going to finish. HyuN should have been a little bit more prepared, but it was hard for him to be more prepared when he was on such a low drone count. He's going to be seeing this grenade going down. Reapers going to be actually caught here. Slow Ling's going to catch that, so First Ling is going to get quite a bit done already. I mean, 1 Reaper going down just already slows down how much progress you can make in the Freerox Reaper play. Every single Reaper counts a lot because they really are units which snowball in effectiveness as you gather more and more of them together. So, it's, well, let's see what happens here as we see the grenades starting to go down. Queen's going to be starting to fight as they target that Reaper, and again, just, slowing this down. I mean, if there's already 4 Reapers here, Queens would be down a bit faster, there'd be more grenades, and, again, little bits and pieces. Oh my god, that Reaper gets super low. Queen's super low as well. I mean, Queens are sort of expected to die to some extent. Obviously, the more you keep alive, the better. Actually, another Queen pops out, so this Queen can sit in the back and stay happy. Interesting that he injects again, rather than saving up one of these Queen's energy for transfuse, which could be super useful, you would imagine. As we see Ling Speed about to finish up. Again, maybe not even need for roaches, because there just isn't really anywhere for these Reapers to go. Once they kind of jump down this ledge down to that low ground, very similar situation to Overgrowth. The Lings can just sort of dance back and forth, and You know, once he jumps down, there's nowhere else for him to run other than to just try and get back home. Now, grenades are going to do a pretty decent job here, and again, grenades catching a lot of these Zerglings. But I feel as though the Lings this time around doing a little bit of a better job as well, picking off a lot more of these Reapers. I mean, a couple of them very low on health. As HyuN could have caught one more Reaper there. Maybe could have even chased some of these low health Reapers as well. So I feel as though he could have done a little bit more damage, which he just hasn't ended up doing. So either way, I still like this position for HyuN again. And this time he's doing exactly what we talked about that's different to the last game. He's making those extra drones. So last time around, he made like another 20 Zerglings right now, and they did absolutely nothing. This time he's going straight into the drones. So he's going to be on 30 against 28, and he's already going to be in a better position. But he still hits this supply block. Last time he got supply block 44 over 44, and then 52 over 52. This time it's only on 52 over 52, but it's still a big supply block. I mean, 2 Overlords on the way, just starts up a third hatch and a couple of Evos, so it gives him a bit of supply to work with. As we're going to see, oh my god, Reapers are just going to get caught here. Grenades going down to help out, but these Reapers are starting to fall. And, you know, losing these Reapers is a big deal, because if you're going for that bio follow-up once again, not having the Reapers is actually quite significant. We saw in the last game those Reapers starting to kind of throw down grenades on the banelings after kind of picking off the third base, but I mean, they just add so much to the army. They pick off the third base and have that do that faster, but they also just create that kind of opportunity to grenade and make the engagement so much more difficult for the Zerg. You know, if you're fighting against 60 Marines with Ling Bane, you know, you're usually laughing, because you just say, well, cool, I don't run in all stacked up, I split just a little bit, and good. You know, you run against Reapers, and, you know, you got to react to the grenades as they're coming down. Your planers get blown to the sky, they don't connect, it's getting blown backwards. It's just a massive mess, so picking off those Reapers is a huge pick-off for HyuN. And now, staying even on the work account, feels though he's in a nice little position. He just needs to stay out of those supply blocks, otherwise he is going to find himself in a very tough position. Feeling's still going to sit on this left-hand watchtower. There's a few more Zerglings coming in towards the left-hand side of the map, so a few more Lings just coming in. And we got a few Marines just gathering together for Bunny down on the low ground here, a few of them up on the high ground as well, so a few Marines just going to get set to go, and I don't really like the Banes all low. That said, if he just busts down Stim, because he's seen that, right? Yeah, actually, this is super smart. Like, if he just kills Stim, then Bunny's in a really bad position. These are actually really bad positions to build your racks on the low ground. This is actually super smart by HyuN. I mean, just kills Stim, immediately rebuilds that tech lab up here, but I mean, so what? Like, Stim just died. That's so smart. Like, HyuN had no intention of actually attacking into the natural. You could see that by the fact he just didn't have that many more units once the Balins are blown up, and he never intended to. He just wanted to blow up Stim, which is super smart, because it's, again, going to delay Bunny's attack, going to stop him from really doing much here in the very near future. I mean, he can drop around with these medevacs and so on, but again, without Stim, life is just so much easier for our Zerg. So, HyuN, really smart decision there. Definitely worth the Balins he invested. And now we're going to be seeing, well, again, Marines will drop off. They'll kill off an Overlord here, an Overlord there. But in general, HyuN just needs to make units. And, you know, as well, like, HyuN's got 2 minutes where he can actually attack, and there's not going to be Stim. Even after these 2 minutes are up, he can attack, and there's not going to be combat shields for a little bit longer, unless a second tech lab comes up. So we're really just looking at the entire kind of a set of upgrades from our Terran player being delayed now because of Stim going down, which gives HyuN so many possibilities. He's going to play Ling speed, Bane speed, and Roach speed, so really going to upgrade both of these units, all of these low-tech units, and really just play a super aggressive playstyle with kind of Ling, Bane, Roach, maybe a few Ravagers getting mixed in there as well, depending. A few Marines is going to be coming in. We're going to see Lings coming in, surrounding immediately, forcing those Marines to pick on up into the medevacs. They're going to head down to the south side and start to unload again. Bunny just keeping his units gathered up together then, as we're going to be seeing these medevacs healing up a few more of these Marines. There's a few more Marines getting healed up right now. A Liberator coming to the south side as well, and we'll be looping around. See what direction he's going to be able to go in from. As again, Ling Bane just gathering up together from HyuN. Strong going down here as well as he takes the watchtower. Again, just the fourth hatch again ready to be placed. But, I mean, this is what we were talking about before. If there's only Marines, you know, HyuN's very happy to run in and sort of fight against these compared to if this was kind of Marines and Reapers. So, again, everything not going right for Bunny here in game number 2. Just going to see a few more Marines starting to drop out here. Queens will try and fight a little bit, but, I mean, Ling Bane comes in as well. Targets down on those medevacs, doesn't get the kill, but again gets it low, which just makes it so much more difficult for these units to stay out on the map. So, just making life a bit more difficult here for the Terran player. As you see, Lingbane Roach starting to move on forwards here. So HyuN moving forward with a few of these units. Going to be seeing these Marines getting lifted up and just going to jump back in towards the main base. So just going to unload here once again. A couple of Hellions to the left-hand side. Going to be taking down a crew tumor. And you're going to see this Queen getting picked off. And fueling starting to go down as well. So a little bit of damage being done. You're going to see one Baneling disconnect as these Marines just don't have a medevac to escape in. Down to the south side. More Overlords going down. Honestly, the supply blocks alone might be just what keeps Bunny in this game, despite everything really not going his way throughout. I mean, he supply blocks here so many times here throughout this at this point by killing off just multiple, Overlords to the left, to the right, to the top side in the main base. He's just picking off all these Overlords, and HyuN's still supply blocked. I mean, this is really starting to affect him now. Down 30 supply. He's got a lot of money to spend. He really needs to spend it, though, so he needs to get that going for himself, and combat shield's about to kick in. We're getting to this position of the game where, honestly, our Zerg player might just be in trouble because the Terran has kind of, again, just got way too much. Bunny's macro is really on point here, and despite not having a great early game, he's still super dominant already in the mid game. So just really kind of comes down to HyuN not really seeming to be on the same level as our Terran in this so far. As we're going to be seeing T2 upgrades finishing up for the Zerg. That is going to be a slight favor for HyuN. So he will have an upgrade advantage in terms of armor for just a little while. So that's something he can maintain and maybe work with to kind of keep him kind of above the water. But I mean, look at this. He is on, again, 118 to 157 supply now. Again, Bunny has not skipped a beat in his macro, and HyuN supply blocks just so much. And I mean, to be fair, you got to give some credit to Bunny as actually wielded that fort, because here we go. Engagement starts on up. Lingbane Roach Ravager is not enough at all. A lot of links coming in very, very late, and my PC is going to freeze up. Rip the dream. GG.